Heading to Japan? Nervous? Japan is a land of local customs and etiquettes, some more obvious than others, so here are 24 essential points to help you navigate Japan with ease, hopefully helping you show respect for Japanese culture, building positive relationships with locals, and enjoy a smooth and peaceful travel experience. Let's get started. Bowing is an important aspect of Japanese culture and can be used to show respect, gratitude, or apology. When greeting someone, it's customary to bow slightly. The deeper the bow, the more formal the situation. Public etiquette is important for tourists to follow when visiting Japan, given the country's reputation for cleanliness and orderly society. Examples of such etiquette include refraining from smoking or eating while walking, queuing up in a proper manner, and disposing of trash properly. It is also considered respectful to offer your seat to the elderly, pregnant, or individuals who may require assistance. In Japan, it's customary to remove your shoes before entering certain areas, for example, someone's home, certain restaurants, and even some shops, castles, or museums. Or when entering a tatami room. You may be provided with slippers to wear when you take your shoes off, but it's important to remove them when entering certain rooms, such as the tatami room. Usually, if there's a step up, this is a sign that you should take off your shoes. There might also be a shoe rack or a place to store your shoes, so be on the lookout. In big cities, Japanese people might understand some English, but not have the confidence to communicate. And in more rural areas, many will not understand English at all. So it's always important to learn a few basic phrases to help you communicate. Some useful phrases include hello, thank you, and excuse me. Google Translate will always come handy too. Japan places a strong emphasis on respect for the elders. So it's important to be mindful of your behavior around older people, for example, standing up when an elderly person enters a room or offering to carry their bags, giving up seats, or simply giving them priority. Tipping is not common or expected in Japan. Instead, good service is expected as part of the job. And expressing your gratitude with a simple arigatou gozaimasu, thank you very much, is enough. Don't leave a tip, or it might be confusing, leading to a misunderstanding. So it's always important not to tip at all. On the other hand, gift giving is a common practice in Japan and can be used to express appreciation, apology, or congratulations. When giving a gift, it's important to wrap it neatly and offer it with both hands. The recipient will usually refuse a gift at first before accepting it. I usually carry some small gifts from my country for those extra special encounters along my travels, or travel with postcards from my hometown to offer as a form of gratitude instead of a tip. This is also a great way to get a conversation started with someone too. Public transportation is a big part of life in Japan, but there are some specific etiquette rules to follow. For example, not talking on the phone, not eating or drinking whilst on the train, and lining up in an orderly fashion. And if standing at train exits, it is polite to step outside for a moment whilst people leave the train. Onsens are traditional Japanese hot springs, but there are certain rules and customs to follow when using them. In a nutshell, you must wash your body before entering the shared bath and not wear swimwear. Tattoos can sometimes cause a problem, but there are many ways around this, like booking a private onsen or checking if tattoos are accepted ahead of time. I recommend giving this very Japanese custom a try. Festivals or Matsuri are an important part of Japanese culture, and there are many throughout the year. Some popular festivals include the Gion Matsuri in Kyoto and the Nebuta Matsuri in Aomori. Planning your itinerary around a Japanese festival will really enhance your cultural experience and expose you to some of the most exciting and unique aspects of Japanese tradition. Tourists with tattoos may face difficulties entering public baths and hot springs, gyms and sports clubs, and traditional establishments in Japan due to the association with Yakuza and negative stigma attached to tattoos. Although this image is slowly changing, it's important to do your research before heading to any of these. Japan is known for its orderly queues, so it's important to follow suit when lining up for attractions or waiting in line for food. Stand behind the person in front of you and don't cut in line. You might be surprised to find someone in charge of organizing a queue in many establishments, or even seeing elaborate markings telling you where you should stand. Chopstick etiquette. Chopsticks are a common utensil in Japan, so it's important to know how to use them properly and to follow chopstick etiquette. For example, not pointing with your chopsticks or passing food directly from your chopsticks to someone else. Also, never stick your chopsticks in a bowl of rice and leave them standing upright. This and passing of items chopstick to chopsticks are reserved for Buddhist funerals. Many restaurants might not even have Western cutlery, so brush up on your chopstick skills before you head to Japan. Tatami rooms are a traditional Japanese room with woven straw mats on the floor. And if you're staying in a traditional inn or ryokan, you may be sleeping in a tatami room. So it's important to take off your shoes and not step on the edge of the tatami mats. Avoid placing heavy suitcases or anything that can leave a mark too. Punctuality is highly valued in Japan, so it's important to be on time for appointments, meetings or tours. It's also important to plan your schedule accordingly, taking into account transportation times and possible delays, and to apologize if you're running late. From my experience, even running 1 minute late might mean being left behind. Japan is a beautiful country with many photogenic spots, but it's important to be respectful when taking photos. For example, not taking photos of people without their permission, not taking photos in places where it's prohibited, and not using flash in temples or shrines. Always respect signs, especially in places of worship. Bathrooms in Japan can be different from what tourists are used to, so it's important to know what to expect. For example, although many toilets have additional high-tech features such as bidets and heated seats, it's important to note that some toilets are primitive squat toilets. Bathrooms in Japan also commonly have a pair of slippers specifically for use in the bathroom, known as toilet slippers. These slippers are often a different color or design than the regular indoor slippers. Rush hour in Japan can be an extremely crowded and hectic experience, especially in major cities like Tokyo. During the morning and evening commutes, trains and subways can become packed with commuters, making it difficult to move or even breathe at times, let alone travel with a suitcase. Tourists should avoid rush hour if possible, with Tokyo's morning rush hour typically being more hectic than the evenings, running from 7 to 9 a.m. and the evenings being from around 5:30 to 8 p.m. Plan accordingly. Japan has strict no smoking laws in public places and indoors, so it's important to know where smoking is allowed and where it's prohibited. For example, smoking on the street and indoors must be done in designated areas, and surprisingly many hotel rooms are available in smoking and non-smoking options. Unlike many countries, Japan has a very limited number of public trash cans or bins, especially in urban areas. This is because the Japanese culture places a high value on cleanliness and personal responsibility for waste management. It is recommended to carry a small bag with you to store your trash until you can find a proper place to dispose of it. Most convenience stores and train stations have bins for recyclables and combustible waste, but it's always important to check the labels and sort the trash accordingly. Japan continues to be a cash-first society, so it's important to carry cash when traveling to Japan, since many places do not accept credit cards, especially smaller establishments. It's also recommended to withdraw cash from ATMs located in convenience stores, post offices or international airports, as some ATMs may not accept foreign cards. Blowing your nose in public is generally considered impolite in Japan because it's viewed as a disruption to the public space and may spread germs to others. In Japanese culture, there is a strong emphasis on cleanliness and consideration for others. Therefore, it's best to avoid any behavior that could potentially affect others negatively, including blowing your nose in public. Instead, it's considered more appropriate to excuse yourself to a private area, such as a restroom or a private room, if you need to blow your nose. Tourists should be mindful of noise levels in Japan. Japanese culture places a strong emphasis on consideration for others and maintaining harmony, especially in shared public areas such as trains, restaurants, and residential areas. Therefore, try to avoid making loud noises or engaging in disruptive behavior that may disturb others. Did you know that tourists are actually required to carry their passports with them at all times? The bonus is that carrying your passport can be convenient, as foreign visitors can take advantage of tax-free shopping when purchasing certain goods and over a certain price point. So team, many of these points are common, but are there any that have caught you by surprise, or any specific tips that you'd like to share with travelers to Japan? Let me know in the comment section. And for those of you who might want to know a little bit more about me, I'm Ninja Monkey Nathan. As a tourist who travels to Japan multiple times a year, you could say that I'm a bit of a Japan travel otaku. And my aim is to explore the country and bring you along with me, making travel content as a tourist for tourists like yourself. And nothing brings me more joy than seeing you have a great experience in Japan through some of my recommendations and guides. So if you'd like to support me and keep up with more videos about Japan travel, subscribing is only a click away and it's free. Like this video and comment with a chopstick emoji, even if you have nothing to say. And if you are interested in learning a little bit more about Japan travel, how about checking out some of my other videos and guides? Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Stay positive but COVID negative. Arigatou gozaimasu. Gracias. Thanks. Bye.